Hey, how you doing, Ron Savage? On the Pat McDonough Show, 2 hours of power starting. Plus, we have secret guests in there. I'm not going to say nothing. It's going to be your surprise right here on the Pat McDonough Show.
Called a smear campaign by Giuliani against Yovanovitch. Now, we heard from the lawyer, as I mentioned. He wrote, quote, "Given its importance to the national interest, we decided to release this recording in a manner intended to ensure equal public access and in an effort to provide clarity to the American people and the Senate."
Fox's Mark Meredith. House impeachment managers allege the president viewed her as an obstacle to the investigations he wanted of the findings. The Des Moines Registers endorsed Senator Elizabeth Warren for the Democratic caucuses. It says as president, she will be a fitting response to the...
You may know it blew my ears off.
America is
Did you hear that?
Fox News.
Blood.
Subscribe and listen to the latest from Fox News podcasts. It's the Impeachment Witch Hunt with
Okay.
Fox News legal
Check.
analyst Greg Jarrett.
Check.
A must listen to get the full legal
Who we got?
view of the current impeachment.
Eddie,
Historical context and what
Alindo,
all the
Freddie Herman, Barry Andrews, Freddie Herman, Barry Andrews, Savage Nation, Bro, Savage Mode. Nation's the other guy. Savage Mode. Savage Mode. We got Freddie Herman. All these neighborhood brothers.
The town of Chaldea, these are complex times. They need to be understood and more than just sound bites.
Make sure my mic's on.
Central Illinois, just a few blocks, people's lives are affected. It's important to be fast.
1,
But it's
2,
most important
3, and
to be
4.
right. Austin is a city in shock. Information has never moved faster than it does today. It is
Okay.
our job to cut through it.
Go ahead.
Bill Hemmer reports weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on the Fox
You
News
crazy silly man. He always puts his backwards. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Oh, Rob. How you doing, Rob? Thank you for putting that video back up. I love it. I love it. If you want to do another one, get in touch. We'll do it. I've been practicing scenes from The King and I, so I think I can do that. You know? Linda Mana!
When their water bombing plane crashed this week were removed today from the still active fire zone and crash site as their family members arrived in Sydney. All 3 men were military veterans. 2 of them were fathers.
Fox's Laura Engel. Police say a 51-year-old woman fatally shot a retired Illinois State Police trooper and injured another retired state trooper and an off-duty trooper.
My God.
It happened last night at a cigar lounge in suburban Chicago.
A cigar.
State Police Director Brendan Kelly.
Yeah, I know about the cigar lounges, man. Rob! You ought to come by. You ought to come by. We'll have come by the wings, and then we'll eat Cajun fries and we'll talk. Oh my God!
Police say surveillance video indicates there was no apparent provocation and that the woman and victims were acquaintances. 2 astronauts today carried out repairs to a cosmic ray detector outside the International Space Station.
The repair carried out by NASA's Andrew Morgan in Italy.
WCBM, the Pat McDonough Show. Ron Savage
This
speaking.
was their 4th spacewalk since November
Okay, Mark,
to fix
how you
the
doing?
Alpha
Would you
Magnetic
like to talk about
Spectrometer, which was
Would you like
launched
to talk
into space in 2011. The device was never designed to be repaired in orbit, and it took NASA years to devise a plan for fixing it. NASA hopes the cosmic ray
Okay,
detector
I gotta go.
can
News is
soon
coming on here.
resume
Number 1
its
here.
search for antimatter and
All right,
dark
hold on,
matter in the universe.
That's Fox's Roger Stern. And I'm Joe Chiro, Fox News.
Da ba da bing ba da boom. 9 boom. Turn it off.
The early part of the work week, then it's going to be a very quiet this weekend. Now we will see skies clearing after there's a race Saturday. We'll let it back into the low to mid 30s for our Sunday. We're mostly sunny. Afternoon high, mid to upper 40s. We're partly cloudy Sunday night. Overnight low drops back to 32. And then we call it partly
Operator Ron Savage.
high, mid to upper 40s. I'm Jeff Eno, Weather Channel for Talk Radio 680 WCBN.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty
On,
to expire
that says
or
8 p.m.
warranty coverage at all.
Off,
Decline in
6:30 a.m. tomorrow morning.
is
Yes.
in the low-cost
Hold on,
display.
hold on.
Available to the public.
Private Eye Claude Melcher's here. Hi, Claude. How you doing, Barb?
Find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs.
But he'll be on later too. We got secret. So many things happy. See, you're gonna. I'm dying. Are you? I'm dying. I don't know.
Call 800
All right.
746 2168 now.
Oh,
Drivers who are
lovely.
covered by Protect My Car will not have to pay for a covered repair bill again. This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free car rental at no additional cost. Call Protect My Car for your free
Great.
quick quote today. 800-746-2168. 800-746-2168.
Yeah,
What do you
right.
have to lose? Again, 800-746-2168.
There
The
you go.
WCBM studios are sponsored by a safe retirement solution. Call Rod Baroe today for that solution. 410-266-1120.
The views and opinions you hear on Talk Radio 680, WCBM, and WCBM.com are not necessarily those of the owners, management, employers, and advertisers of WCBM, but they should be.
Talk Radio 680, WCBM.
The Pat McDonough Show is brought to you by Rally for America. This is Talk Radio 680 WCBM. Time now for the Pat McDonough Show. Here's your host, Pat McDonough.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the program. It's been a little while since I've been here, I know. Last week I was out at a special event for veterans that I had to attend.
Yeah.
And the week before that, I was somewhere, I can't remember. Florida. So, yes, I was in Florida.
Wow.
But it was a chill. There was a chill down there, so don't be too angry with me. It was actually 66 degrees. So it was a little chilly down there. Yes, I really felt bad about that. But we are back, and this is going to be, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a very exciting year in politics and with this show. And, you know, normally I do not have guests, but we're going to have a lot of guests this year. Give you a little bit of an advance. Next Saturday, we are going to have a forum for the 7th District congressional race on the Republican side. That was
We're in
Cummings
Birdsong.
District. And, of course, there's 32 people running in that race. 7
Love you, baby.
or 8 Republicans, which Republicans are 15% of the district. But I still think the idea is to give people an opportunity to hear folks that have decided, you know, it's a big jump, believe me. When you become a candidate, you've got to give up a lot of things, and you also have got to get in a position where you better have a strong heart, because you're going to get nailed for things you never did and everything else. So it takes a lot to get into these things. So we want to give them the opportunity, which most of the liberal media will not, for you to get to know them and what their ideas are. And tonight we have 2 special guests. Danielle, you know, we're glad to have you here. Danielle Hornburger.
Thank you,
and
Pat.
Kevin Hornburger, who is a state delegate.
Hey, Pat, good to see you again.
And we are happy to have them with us because they both have very interesting stories, and they're from Cecil County, which some people call Cecil. Where did they ever get that?
It depends on how old you are, how you pronounce it.
That's an old name.
Yeah, it's an old name.
It's gradually changed to become the proper name, which is spelled Cecil County.
Yep.
So this is a great county north of Harford County.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got some very interesting things that Danielle in particular is doing. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
And also Kevin is in the Maryland General Asylum. So
and had the distinction of serving with Pat for 4 years.
yes, and I was there for 20 years and survived to live again. But what I noticed, Kevin, but it's going to be tougher on you than it was for me.
That's true.
Because what I noticed was every 4 years when I get reelected, and I went down there, there were more nuts. I mean, from Montgomery County, Howard County, Prince George's County, and Baltimore City. I mean, these people just got farther and farther to the left. I had
it's
the guy that used to sit
Kendobe.
in front of me was from Howard County, was Delegate Turner, Frank Turner.
Okay,
And Frank was a
Hey, Lou.
traditional liberal, which
Lou.
most of the Democrats were, but there's a big difference between traditional
John
liberals
Liberatore.
and wacko lefties. I mean, a
How you
big
doing, brother?
difference. And
Like registered socialists.
yeah, pretty much.
Which we have.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the craziness. And what I think is interesting, Danielle, is that this year they're going to do the videos or the visuals.
I got Pat.
And you will
There's
get
going to be a lot of grandstanding going on.
But also the people back home will get to see how nutty these people are. because
true.
they come out and they say things. I used to sit there in amazement. But I told Frank Turner, I said, Frank, this is getting worse all the time. I said, there's going to be a day when you're going to turn around and say,
you got to listen to all the stuff.
You were right.
Oh, ask him, Dobie. Ask him, Dobie.
It happened last year that I was there. He did. He said, you're right. These people. Now, this is a liberal Democrat saying this about.
Yeah. This last election, they had folks that were gunning down their own people in the primary and run to their left. So you can just imagine how much more liberal it's gotten since when you were there.
So we're going to maybe see this on TV. Now, we have a TV show, and we're going to try to pick out spots on the videos that are coming from Annapolis, and we're going to run them on our TV show.
They're
the most
good sound. They're
extreme
good sound now.
comments.
Yeah.
They're good sound now. They're good sound now.
It was kind of funny. I'd walk down down the hallways, Kevin, and people would come up.
Don't
to
say
me.
nothing.
They knew who I
Miss
was on
Lacey's
TV or
here.
something, and they would. I don't even know who these people are, and they could be from Cecil County. They could be. They come up and they say, I used to get mad at you when you were on the radio and you would say Maryland General Asylum. You say, and a lot of people, we just testified in front of the committee. My God, these people are crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know where they're coming up with some of these questions that they're throwing at people that are testifying the bills. It's getting pretty outlandish.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I think with this Kerwin Commission, which was for education.
I hear some strange sounds in here, man. I'm telling you that right now.
$32 billion, amazing amount of money. And of course, the Democrats said in the beginning that we're not going to raise taxes on this particular issue. We'll find another way to fund it.
There was definitely some asterisks with that statement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into some of those tonight, but.
Yeah, so this is a lot of money. They're talking about $4 billion a year. Now, I'm just saying we had the Thornton bill, which was many years ago, was supposed to do the same thing, never did. But we're going to give more money to teachers. We love teachers. We're going to give more money to take children out of their homes, away from their families, and put them on the government plantation with this pre-kindergarten stuff. And I don't know what they've accomplished so far in terms of instruction and success.
Well, and you said it. Thornton was done many years ago. It seems like they just keep throwing something at the wall. This is the new thing, and every time it's just.
Where are the results?
Yeah, where are the results?
Give me more money and I'll show you results, as opposed to let's get results with what we have.
Right.
There was a special, I think it was on Fox 45, about St. Francis Academy, which
doing
is
this job, she's much louder than he.
School that is 90% African American, and it's a private school. And 90% of the kids that graduate from this school go to college or go into a job training program, and they're all very successful, and they have limited funds. If the state wants to improve education, create 100 St. Francis Academies around the state.
Yeah.
I don't think it would even cost $4 billion.
Yeah, in areas like this, you're seeing most success with your charter schools, where the parents that are sending their kids there are involved, where there's a genuine interest, and where the funding is right sized for the students, and they're becoming successful, even though when every school around them is failing miserably.
Yeah, what it's so obvious is what you could do, right? But the Democrats on the left are always about the money. Now, we're going to take a look tonight, and this show is open. You can call in and talk to Danielle and Kevin and myself about these issues. We are going to take a look at what's happening with the General Assembly, what may be coming up. We're also going to take a look at, of course, the impeachment process, as I like to call them, the Hatriots and the Liarcrats.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially Schiff. He had plastic surgery before this. He had his eyes fixed.
Yeah.
They'll stay together.
A little less shifty.
Yes.
I don't know about that.
And yes, the
we're
savage
going to take a look
mode.
at some local Republican politics about the future of the
Hey, Ken
Republicans,
Davis.
what's going on there, and the 2022 election.
Betsy
where
Bootsy's here. We're all having a fun.
Republicans
We're having a ball. We're having a
for
freaking ball.
governor. And where is conservatism?
She said, I love
in
your
the
arm, Bob. And
Republican
he
Party in
say,
Maryland?
hey,
We'll get your
Brother
opinions
Bob
and
and
thoughts on
Sister
that.
Lacey. How are you doing
And
tonight?
some other things,
Hallelujah.
but
Come on.
We're going to Mark called in early. Anyway, you can call us at 410-922-6680.
Get him on there, baby.
That's 410-922-6680. The long distance call is 1-800. That's doesn't cost you anything. It's 1-800-922-6680. So it's an open show. And you can call
WCBM,
us.
the Pat McDonough
And
Show.
we're
Ron
gonna
Cyrus
talk
speaking.
with
Who's calling tonight?
Mark. Good evening.
Hello? No, you take your hat off, Shmara Sunset Tupa. Oh, I mean, is this Claude here? You don't call that to a wise guy, my friend.
Yeah.
Let me see. What'd you like to talk about, man? You're right after Mark. Crime in the city? All right. This is a tape show, so talk after stuff. Claude, I got you second. I gotta go. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada bing. Now I get to
Yes,
to
I know
play
there was
the
talk of that. I could jump right
good
in
songs.
here with Speaker Bush. And as you know, Speaker Bush has passed, and we have a new speaker, Adrian Jones. I think that proposal is still being talked about, but I have not seen a bill in print yet. So that's a stay tuned item there.
And how many votes does that need in the House or Senate? Is that because it's a constitutional
constitutional amendments have a higher threshold. It's like 2/3 of the body. Yep.
I don't know what that would be, but we have, out of 141 delegates, we have 42, I believe.
That's correct.
I don't know how to do the math.
That's correct.
But that's what it would take, and then it would have to pass in the state of Maryland, which I think it would have a good chance of doing, and it would get a lot of votes because the General Assembly, like I said, we have only 42 Republicans, and in the Senate, there's 47 senators, and we lost some senators, so it might be 12 or 14 now.
Yeah, we lost 2, picked up 1. So.
Well, anyway, listen, I do thank you for continuing to be, for the pro-life cause.
We're gonna get out of this with the heart of glass for that blonde woman, and then we're gonna come back.
All right, thank you, Mark. It is amazing that President Trump is the first president to
With that
speak.
Miller
That
man.
was amazing.
I mean, where was George
And
Bush?
he's gonna sing about that airplane
100,000
liner.
at least. And where was George Bush?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't expect Obama, who believed in abortion in the extreme, or of course Clinton.
Well, just as important, right on the other side, we're probably going to see a return with the death with dignity bill. That's probably coming back too.
How close did that come last time?
That bill died in the Senate by 1 vote.
That's Shane Pendergrass.
We had a Democrat that vacillated at the last minute.
Oh, I thought you were saying Teddy
that'll be
Pendergrass.
coming.
Excellent.
Yep. I think it's going to be amazing to see what happens in this session of the legislature.
Amazing or scary?
Both.
Yeah.
Amazingly scary.
Yeah, amazingly scary. for
Yeah,
sure.
I think so.
I think so.
I was looking at a couple bills here on crime. These are legislative bills on crime, Kevin.
Yes.
And these were in the Baltimore Sun. This one is.
Hang in there, Claude.
This is an op-ed.
Hang in there, Claude.
No,
You're gonna be
they
next. I
listed
told
the
you you're
bills.
next.
This
Yeah, I told
requires
you,
a
Claude, you gotta-
correctional facility to provide inmates that are finishing
All right,
up their term
don't say
for
nothing.
felony
Matter of fact,
convictions.
let's turn everything down. Las Vegas is here, so pretend that we weren't talking about anything. So anyway, that's how the apple fell from the tree.
Attempt at this bill last year, and the reason it failed is because they put the onus on the.
No, you don't know. You don't know. I had to get my back because you don't know what I had to go through on the phones.
Facilities, the staff to do that.
No,
Well,
I'm
there's
not. No,
17,000 people
Yeah.
incarcerated. It was 21,000. We've lost 4,000 offenders in 4 years because of the so-called Reform Justice Act. So
What'd you
they're
say?
now in our
What'd you say?
neighborhood. Here's another one.
Hello from Vegas.
Automatic expungement.
We create parties, not
Automatically expunges
Right.
all legal records related to marijuana possession before October 1st
I
of this
crashed a
year,
lot of
when
parties.
the law would take effect. They would be all automatically expunged. So you arrest them and expunge them same day.
Hey, I mean, one-stop shop.
We're gonna go
Hey,
with
look,
that
all
blonde
these
lady. That
ideas,
blonde lady,
This
and
is
then
this is what nobody wants to talk about. There's no job too big for the person
good
who
show.
doesn't have to do the work. You're talking about a tremendous amount of paperwork, resources. These are not going towards adjudicating cases of violent offenders, public defenders. This is all going to take away from and basically bog down our judicial system where it can't even move.
Well, this
It's
is another.
insane.
Listen to this one. This is a good one. This allows
This is
inmates
a good
who are
one.
serving life sentences to be
I'm waiting for her
paroled
to say something.
after serving 30 full years. That's not life. Okay. If the appropriate review board recommends it without the
Yeah.
governor's approval. Now we need the governor's approval. Now, they argued when I was there about the death penalty. capital punishment.
Right.
They got rid of capital punishment. They said we would have life without parole.
They did.
Now they're going to look at life without parole. Is that really life without parole? And then they are going to look at the life sentences, which most of these guys don't serve 30 years.
Well, here soon we'll be given participation trophies for time served. I mean, it just keeps moving in that direction.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. We have our friend Claude.
That
who
blonde
is
lady's
talking
gonna
about
sing
crime in
Watch.
Baltimore City, and we will be right back.
Thanks, Matt.
Tax problems? No matter how long it's been since you last filed, if you have faced unemployment, loss of a family member, divorce, or illness, and feel you can't afford to fix your tax
Then
problems,
answer. We're gonna come back with that Miller Man,
The Tax
and
Killer. With the Tax
we're gonna
Killer Rescue Plan, you have
he
options.
sings
to
about
find
that
nowhere else.
airline,
Since 1989, Rose Harbaugh, former
airplane.
IRS employee, has helped many Marylanders and others outside the state resolve their problems. Advantage Tax Service has an
Let's go mess
A+
with
rating
him.
with the Better Business Bureau and works overtime to assist the taxpayer to avoid additional penalty and interest. They are here all year, preparing each return as if it were their own. And Rose Harbaugh, owner of Advantage Tax Service, met and was interviewed by Tom Marr when he did her ads. So give Rose Harbaugh, former IRS employee, a call at 410-869-TAXX, 410-869-8299, or online at taxkiller.com. That's taxkiller.com.
Allow me to offer some sound advice. More than 35 million men, women, and
Yeah, I tell you.
have hearing loss, and the number is growing. You
I
need to
mean,
begin your journey toward
crashing
healthy
things
hearing
here.
now by calling
We almost crashed into the porta pot.
1006. The
Okay.
center is located
Okay,
in
now.
Begin your journey to healthy hearing by calling Clarity and Comfort Hearing Center.
We're
at
gonna erase that
410-256-1006.
from the situations.
This
She,
message is
there-
sound
she don't know.
This is a special alert
Vegas,
to
you know,
all
the
Americans
peyote out
who own
there.
a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, Protect My Car is announcing
I came in here
a
some nights. I was
service
calm.
plan that is now available to the
I was
public
calm.
to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out.
And now I'm not.
Auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly.
That was plastic. That was plastic. It was plastic.
Line has been
It was
established
plastic.
for all drivers to call for a free quick quote.
Can I have just a little drink? Just a little drink of that Chianti?
Covered by Protect My Car will not have to pay for a covered repair
Thank
bill
you.
again. This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free car
Stop
rental
me,
at no
Barry.
additional cost. Call Protect My Car for your free quick
Anyway.
quote today.
Anyway.
800-746-2168. 800-746-2168. What do you have
I will tell you this. I will tell you this. It's time to get T-shirts. Always time to get T-shirts. Shut up. I'm doing one commercial. Go to Blue Fish Apparel, okay? My buddy, my guy, Steve Bluebird. He makes T-shirts. He makes scoozies. He makes all kinds of good stuff. You can take a picture of mom, your dog, put it on a scoozy or a T-shirt, and it's great. It's freaking terrific. It's really terrific. And he can be reached at 443-278-4853. That's 443-278-4853. Visit or call Steve Blueford, okay? Bluefish Apparel on Facebook, the Book of the Face. He's a nice man. He's not going to yell or nothing much. We're going to go with that Miller Man. That Miller Man. Vince! Vince! Vince is here. We got to go to that Miller Man. Come back, baby.
On Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Yeah, baby.
And now more of the Pat McDonough Show on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and worldwide at WCBM.com.
Welcome back, everybody. We have as our special guest Danielle Hornburger and Mr. Kevin Hornburger, I should say Delegate Hornburger.
Yes.
And some exciting things about Danielle will be coming up shortly.
The phone is ringing.
Member of Andy Harris's congressional office, right?
WCBM, the Pat McDonough Show. Ron Savage speaking. And,
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Who's
What do you think about the beard?
I'm sorry. What
Yeah, my
Oh, I'm
wife
sorry.
likes it
Take
too.
two. Their mic wasn't on. I had to turn their mic on. WCBM, the Pat McDonough Show. Ron Savage speaking. Who's calling tonight?
Right now, We're going to talk with Claude in Baltimore.
Dave,
I mean, hey, we're the founding.
let me get you the magic computer. Hold on.
Yes, every one of them. Hi, Claude. How you doing?
Hey, Dave, where you calling from, man?
What's up?
Police can't protect you.
And what would you like to talk to Pat? And you guys?
Now they're saying that the officer that got spit on didn't have his body camera on. Now, if the guy's on the ground, he ain't gonna see nothing anyway with the body camera. And then with the third nigger, I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, Vigaraja, something like that.
There you go. He told the police to turn the body camera off, and he's running from there. I mean, what gives him the right to tell the man to turn the camera off?
You know, and here's the problem.
What,
that particular candidate,
Dave, hang on there.
Vigaraja, I think his name is, he's a former attorney general. He has the best plan for fighting crime out of all the candidates.
This is a really good
He has
show.
the best plan
John Patrick
for being mayor of
Viala.
Baltimore City. If I were a Democrat, that's the guy I'd be voting for. And now he's in trouble because of the simple thing. And this is how politics works. Because of the simple thing that, for whatever reason, he asked this guy, it was a minor thing, you know, it was like a tail light wasn't working, to turn the camera off, which they are not supposed to do. So he violated a rule.
Right.
But now all this stuff is being thrown at this candidate who is probably the best of the whole bunch.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Pat. That police officer could lose his job.
Well, yeah, he could, and that's the problem in Baltimore City.
Oh, that's
There's
Private
war
Eye,
against police
Mr. Claude, the
officers.
Private
They've got
Eye
the
man
degree over
that I
their
do a
head.
commercial for him.
Yeah, and you know, they're always, you know this, you were a police officer, they're always under the gun. And now they went from 500 vacancies to 800 vacancies under the new recruitment law.
And let me ask you this, sir. This politician with you.
He's a representative of the people.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, sir. Why don't you guys do more for the homeless? I got a old ambulance. I got to feed them and give them soup every night. And Vinny's Cafe donates me the soup and the coffee. They're great people.
You know, I'm going to start, Claude, I'm going to start charging Vinny.
Matter of fact, we wanted to get on your show to talk to you. We wanted to bring Vinny up there.
I got a great success story for you on that. Right there in Cecil County, we just did 75 VASH home vouchers for homeless vets.
Well, that's great.
That's only one population.
That's it. See that?
To qualify, you had to have no record.
And working on 75 more.
Well, Claude, you call me, and we get Vinny to do some advertising, and we'll promote your program.
Okay.
But you're right,
because
these
you
are,
actually will get a lot of support for that program with some advertising and promotion.
And these are two issues that go hand in hand: homelessness and crime.
Matter of fact, Pat, can you help me file for 501c3?
I charge $10,000 to do that.
But he doesn't make any profit on it.
No. I then give it to the homeless.
Oh.
No, I can't help you out, Claude, but you call me at my office, 410-238-0025.
Okay.
And I'll give you somebody that maybe can help you out.
Okay, buddy. I appreciate it, Pat.
All right, take care.
Thanks, Claude.
All right, so I want to talk about, the crime issue. We are doing Super Citizen owns this radio show, okay? They own the television.
Hold
By the
on.
way, the television show is on
It's Richard
tomorrow.
Nokar.
For
He
those
says,
who are listening,
hey,
the TV show is
Ron,
on
Mustang
tomorrow
Rick wants
on
to know
Simple
how
Broadcasting.
bad
I
does
Comcast,
crime
so it's
have
on
to get
Channel 24,
before we,
TV
the citizens,
for some reason.
can
And,
shoot back.
It's on Verizon, it's on the Dish, it's at 10 o'clock. It's
Before the
opposite
citizens
of
can shoot back.
Deface the Nation. You can either watch Deface the
You ain't
Nation,
shooting back yet?
or you can watch us, the only conservative television
Bada boom,
show
bada bing,
in the
bada
entire
bing.
state of Maryland. So that will be on tomorrow. But what I wanted to say, though, we got a caller here who wants to talk about it. The Democrats who face charges in the fake impeachment. Now, they're charging the president with obstruction.
Sure.
And they are really obstructing, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree 100%. I mean,
They twisted up everything.
Yeah, we did not elect Nancy Pelosi to do nothing and all the rest of them. I mean, it's...
When the founding fathers were putting together the Constitution,
Crazy
there was
Nancy
great
Pelosi.
debate
Yeah,
about the idea of
yeah.
impeachment. Most of them really did not want impeachment because they felt that it would be partisan, which this is the first example. They felt impeachment was an excellent tool if it was used in a fair balanced way when it was absolutely necessary. But they feared that partisanship would get into it and we'd be indicting a president every term, a different president, a Democrat or Republican, and this would take away the power and authority and majesty of the office, which now is more powerful than it has ever been. Under Nixon, it was called the imperial presidency, but it has to be more powerful because we're a global nation in a global world. Back when Jefferson or Jackson was president, it didn't matter the majesty of the office because we couldn't influence anybody, right? But now today, we're everywhere.
We're everywhere. It has turned into, I mean, I can relate this just back to social media in general. I mean, we are what we put out there. It's all farcical, right? I mean, I think about this all the time. So now
I think cooler heads are going to prevail in the Senate.
Well, the impeachment is not going to work.
Right.
It's going to be rejected. I mean, you can call Ron Savage's family over there in Las Vegas, and they'll give you the odds. It's 100 to 1. Okay, and that's where it really matters because they're serious people.
Talk to me afterwards. I'll tell you.
Yes.
But Congress is just grinding to a halt. They're producing nothing. They're doing nothing.
See, when the Vegas woman
and
came,
Trump is
now
doing a
it's all
lot. He's
Vegas. Thanks a
making
lot.
deal with China. He's
I'm
out
here about this
speaking
one.
for the unborn. He's doing all kinds of things. He got the new NAFTA done.
Yep.
He's doing all kinds of great things, and they are doing nothing. And the American people, according to the polls, he went up from 39 to 45%.
Right.
I believe when this is over and the case has been made and the lies have been exposed, that he's going to be over 50%. And when Durham, John Durham, and Bill Barr come out with their investigations on some of these people in the swamp, you're going to see that go up. And of course,
amongst Republicans, he's even higher. I mean, he's at like 95% or
yes,
something.
that's where he is. And also, look at his opponent. It's either Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, don't even get me started on the opponents.
Bernie. Or
Bernie Sanders.
Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe.
I don't see anything in any
Remember
of
Uncle
them.
Joe?
Nobody
Bob
does,
Seger
even
song, remember?
Democrats.
Well, that's a good point because the
Yeah,
first
baby.
debate had 10 million people.
No,
The second debate had 5 million people. The third debate had 3 million people. And that last debate, there were 7 people watching. And Joe Biden had to be called and told to turn on the TV. All right, let's talk with Dave.
I mean, if Bolshevik Bernie gets in there, I don't even think he'll make it through a full term.
It'll be the best thing that ever happened to us, to tell you the truth. Bring people back to their sanity. And they will then, especially the millennials, will begin to learn what Cuba, Venezuela, Russia, and China are all about when you talk about social.
Yeah, how's that working out for him?
Dave, good evening.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Good, yeah. So I just wanted to ask about, a couple questions there. Just, if it's your opinion that the Democrats should face criminal charges really, themselves, now that after the trial, we learned that, kind of all this stuff was made up. And, think of all the money that was wasted and how many, planes and bombs and everything that could buy. It's a lot of taxpayer money. And I just think, people need to commit to holding them responsible. And I just want to kind of get your feedback on that question.
Well, to answer to that
see how my
question,
pen
the president
disappears?
and his brilliant way of
Can Dobie, do you see
communicating,
this?
whether it's tweeting or holding gigantic rallies
Oh,
or
wait a minute.
doing a press conference in front of a helicopter. I mean, he's a master. He will hold their feet to the fire, believe me, for the next 8 months. He will be talking about this all the time.
Oh, we have a
Can't depend
special
on the
announcement.
media
Hold
to
on.
do it because they are co-conspirators. They're part of the mob, and they will try to spin it the other way. But I was watching this morning the 4 lawyers, okay, and they're lawyerly.
Now there's Betsy. Say hello to Betsy. Betsy, Bootsy, Bitsy,
amazing.
Batsa, Batsa,
They
Bitsy,
just
Bitsy,
took
Bitsy, Bootsy.
and Schumer and that
Bitsy,
whole
Batsa,
bunch
Batsa,
apart.
Bootsy, Bitsy, Bitsy,
And,
Batsy, Bitsy,
it was just absolutely
All right, there'll be
amazing.
more
And
later
we're
on.
we're just getting started. So the American people feel, well, they're
Let's hear
wasting
for
their
Betsy
time.
Bootsy.
They continue to attack this president. And remember this, there's going to be a record-breaking turnout of Democrats and
Yes,
Republicans.
her idol is
And there is a thing called the golden vote.
the RCA dog.
The golden vote are the independents, the undecideds, and the moderates. And polls indicate that they are moving towards the president.
Yeah, the best way to hold these guys accountable is at the ballot box. I mean, when we take back the House, everybody will realize just how crazy this entire effort was. There is no smoking gun. There is no proof. There is no witnesses. This is just a
There are no laws that have been violated.
Right.
So that's where we need to hold them accountable is at the November election.
Well, and they're trying to take that away from us by doing this whole thing.
Right.
But you don't think that there should be any kind of, I mean, to me, they wasted a lot of taxpayer money, and to me, that is kind of a crime, you know?
Well, it is a crime, but it's really an issue that is in the political world, mostly not in the legal world. The House of Representatives has the constitutional right to initiate an impeachment process. But as the lawyers pointed out today, they violated the law. Now, that's not a criminal law. That is a constitutional law related to the powers and authority of the Congress. But what they did was they were supposed to, and they were mandated to have an entire House vote. Pelosi said she anointed them to do everything. She doesn't have the authority. No one House member has the authority. And the lawyers pointed out that the whole thing is a violation. It's a fraud.
Right. Yeah, I mean, do you think that it might be more efficient, and this might be a question for the guests here, but it might be more efficient to kind of loop in these charges with sort of the mass arrests that will happen with the Democrats, you know, for their crimes, kind of like, you know, super agent QAnon's talking about on the internet?
Yeah, well, John Durham's investigation. No, this would be outside the realm of that. Now, the only way it would be connected is if, you know, they all make fun of Giuliani and everything, but when this is over, the president will have.
Oh, I got some really, really good.
But around the
Who do you love? Who do you?
like
That's it. See right there. Some Who do you love?
I'm going to be dealing with
Mr. Jim saying that too.
I better come up with something. And if they come up with something on the Bidens, and I think it's out there.
Rattlesnake for a necktie.
And just think about all the innocent people's lives they've destroyed in this process.
Oh, baby,
they haven't even come close to
Tell me,
the
who do
president.
you
There's a lot
love?
of good people that work for the president.
Let's see who we have here.
Have
Oh,
their
Lacey
lives
says,
destroyed, their businesses destroyed.
"Hi, Betsy. Looking
What
good,
recourse do
Betsy.
they
Love." Oh,
Potentially
heard
they can go after
Lana
these folks,
Turner. Lacey likes the jacket. Very cool. Thank you.
And Flynn is doing
And
that.
she's a sweetie. Yes, she is. There'll be more Betsy Bootsy coming up soon too. All right.
I was sure that the
Let's
arrest
listen to the
happened
show.
soon, you know. I thought for sure like Q would have activated his agent
2
to go
minutes.
ahead and complete the sweep up of like Hillary, Michael Moore.
That's not going to go there first. It'll go to like Kleinstein's, the lawyer at the FBI.
Oh, the songs.
So they'll get those guys and they'll sit them in a room and they'll
Oh, that
say,
band
"Let me
that,
explain something to you. You know that house you own in Montgomery County and that nice wife and 3 children you
There's
have? You're going to have a
you
new
find this in the
lifestyle,
woods.
my
A bunch
friend.
of
You're going to be in a prison with a guy
Sticks.
named
That's
Bubba.
it. That's the band. Sticks.
And now,
And then,
do you want to tell us who got you started on this stuff? That's what's going to happen.
Right, and then I was just wondering if kind of the guests would be willing to commit tonight. To do
I'm
everything
surprised
to
that
support
Parkville
Storm,
Mike doesn't
you know,
call
once the
Parkville
arrests
Mike.
begin and protect
Parkville
Trump at all
freaking Mike.
costs. And I haven't heard them kind of speak out about like QAnon or anything, where you know the internet's bypassed the MSM, mainstream media, you know, gotten the truth out there. And I was just wondering if, you know, I know the woman here is running for office, and would she commit to you know, supporting Trump during the storm when? You know,
Well, she's a Trump delegate.
Yeah, I'm a Trump delegate. I will commit 100% right here and now, and I already have. I think Trump's doing a fantastic job. You know,
why do you think it is that the arrests haven't happened yet? I mean, they have been, you know, kind of predicted for a long time by QAnon and everything, but I don't, you know,
Well, the reason that they haven't happened is the reason they have not happened is because in the criminal justice system, the political quotient that comes into play is timing. And if they have they may have they have over 400 agents in the FBI, loyal agents working with John Durham. Now, I have a good friend that calls in, Will, and he's into very deep knowledge of a lot of things, and he tells me that they're part of the swamp,
Will.
and Bill Barr's part of the swamp, and nothing's going to happen. God help us if that is the case. But my belief is that what's going to happen is
I thought he
when
was going
this
to sing the
part
song
of it is
Secret Agent
done,
Man.
I
Miss
believe
Lacey.
that Durham
Miss Lacey.
and Barr are going to throw a couple of indictments out.
Could you
Like
tell
people like
Could you tell
Kleinstein
Buffalo Bob?
and some of these lower
Both of you come down to the station. You would have had a lot of fun here. You would have people meet people. You know,
Yeah, they don't want to come
open
out now
doors,
and do it, because
jobs.
they know they have
Come
this
on.
wrapped up.
Come
Hey,
on.
Dave,
I
thanks
ain't
for
telling
those
everybody.
questions.
Listen.
Yeah, they have
Just,
that
you know.
wrapped up. Now, but let me throw out
Now,
a
if Bob says he
philosophical
says you're not
question.
allowed, then you're not allowed.
Okay. question is this. If we are lucky, and God is with us, and I know he is,
Yes,
otherwise
he
we
is.
wouldn't have Trump to start with.
Right.
I get a letter and an email from all the time from liberals. And this is the gist of what they say to me. You're supposed to be a good Christian man. Trump talks about women. He says certain things. He's done all these bad things. Do you want your children and grandchildren to be like Donald Trump? How can you support Donald Trump? And I say, first of all,
I can answer that.
okay, we'll give you an answer too. See if it's the same. And I wrote back and I said, well, we're living in the age of what is called the awakening.
On top of
God
commercial,
picks people as instruments. They become instruments of God. And God has always chosen flawed
and we're gonna
individuals in addition to perfect.
come out with that
to do
band
the
that's
work
there's
that needs
twigs.
to be
I mean
done.
sticks.
So
Pat, do you know? I got to cut you off because we
Okay.
do have the same answer. I
Okay.
think it sounds like.
all right.
So, do you know the meaning of sin? The true meaning. It means to miss the mark, right?
Right. Okay.
We're all sinners. This is a fact. We all miss the mark in life at some times. None of us are perfect. Are we on the same page?
I didn't vote for Trump to be my pastor, or my priest.
Right.
I
Yeah.
voted for him to lead the country, and he's doing that.
Well, in the theory of the awakening, the idea is that the people who are chosen as instruments of God, whether they're Martin Luther King had a lot of flaws, okay?
Sure.
But he was chosen to do a big job, a very big job, a earth-changing situation in our great nation, which made us better and stronger. And Trump has been chosen to put up a resistance to something that was very bad that is and it's still happening to the country in very large measure. So my point is, why would I want Joe Biden, who believes in abortion, who believes he proclaimed Christian,
Barry
who in
Selby,
his
say
own
something.
church, he's a Catholic, will not even give him communion.
Barry Selby.
Okay, so why would I believe in someone like that who wants to do all the bad things that are sinful, using government as the instrument to do those
Right.
things?
Using government to.
Plus, he can barely put together coherent sentences at this point. I mean,
I'll tell you something. I'm kind of surprised he's still in the race.
It's
I thought with all these mistakes and stutters, and
I know
it's amazing what they've done with robotic technology at this point. It really is.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
I'm sailing away.
Get some high pressure building in, and
All right, so I'm sailing away. I had a couple.
It's going to be a very quiet finish to the weekend. Now we will see skies clearing after a very
Where the hell is
great
it?
Saturday. We'll run it back into the low to mid 30s for our Sunday. We're mostly sunny, afternoon high, mid to upper 40s. We're partly
5
cloudy
minutes.
Sunday night, overnight low drops back to 32, and we call it partly sunny for Monday. That afternoon high.
You're gonna die. You're gonna die when I come back with a really cool song.
WCBN.
You're gonna die.
If you need hotel accommodations for your business clients or out-of-town guests, the Hampton Inn Owings Mills is perfect. The Hampton Inn Owings Mills is located close to the heart of Baltimore. At the Hampton Inn, you'll enjoy the comforts of home and friendly service. Start your day out right with Hampton Inn's free hot breakfast served daily. In a rush and no time for breakfast? Hampton Inn Owings Mills provides free on-the-run breakfast bags, available Monday through Friday. For lunch and business suggestions, their knowledgeable team members will direct you to the finest restaurants just minutes away. At the Hampton Inn Owings Mills, guests receive clean and fresh accommodations, free high-speed internet, a business center open 24/7. Plus, guests enjoy a heated indoor swimming pool and access to the fitness center. Book your reservations for Hampton Inn Owings Mills at hampton.com or call 410-654-2780. 410-654-2780.
Are you always apologizing for your dog's behavior? Need help communicating? At Canine Concepts, we can solve your problems. The answer to your problems is a phone call away. Call 410-477-2000 for a free demo evaluation. Call 410-477-2000. Obedience, protection, handicapped assistance, boarding, grooming, puppy preschool. Visit canineconcepts.com. The best for your dog Call 410-477-2000.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, Protect My Car is announcing a low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly.
You know, I just got a new toilet seat, and I love it. Thank you, Jack Beal. But if you got tiles flipping out, you know, you got great, you know, you might got a little roll, you know, somebody cheated in poker and you knocked them out and knocked the toilet bowl. I'll tell you what, go to Vince's Tile Works, okay? Vince Palmer, he's the owner, he's the operator, he's the owner, he's a, you know, he goes, no one else but to him. If you got a color, nice toilet, glow in the dark, whatever you like, and he's right there on Facebook. See his work. His whole page is all about him doing work. Vince Palmer. Vince Palmer, he's the owner and operator, okay? Vince's Tile Works. Check him out on the Book of the Face. You know, I tell you what, I was going to say, if any time of the day you say to yourself like, I don't know, I think I'm hungry as hell. You know what you do? You call Wings, Things, and More. Wings, Things, and More, okay? That's 410-668-6300. 6300. Saying to it, I got to watch because of him. No, 6300, okay? Okay, geez whiz, I'll tell you what. Wings, Things, and More, okay? They're excellent. Their selection of food. And it ain't because I live close to them, on top of them. They're freaking great. They're freaking great. Okay, I'll tell you why. Why? I'll tell you. The selection of food, okay, includes you got pizza, strombolis, all right. You got hot and cold subs, sandwiches, strombolis, quesadillas. Oh, and they're outstanding wings, you know. So look, they're located on 3007 East Chopper Road. It's right across the street from the Wendy's, the Junkie Wendy's, where the junkies go in there and they shoot heroin in the bathroom and they die, which is good. And Das Beer, right behind that. So do that. They're great. And call them at 410-668-6300. They've got Cajun fries, man. Cajun fries. Wings, Things, and More. Are you hungry? Okay, we got one more minute. Jeffy's all the mo too. All right. And then we're gonna have a really, really cool song. A really, really cool song. I can't take it. It's just so cool. But Pat's email is right here. Pat's email. Pat's email, right? See? Pat McD. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. Oh, you're gonna love this song. This is the only time that you can stutter and it's cool by saying two words. I know. Stutter on that. That's how cool it is.
All seniors and active military members, and we'd
Then
like
go
to thank
watch.
our military members for their service.
You know what song it is because Savage always picks the cool songs. Savage's pick.
Remember, call 410-682-5700 for Jeff's Automotive Services.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And 922-6680, and the long distance toll free number is 1-800-922-6680. And we've been talking a lot about the president and everything that's going on, but the legislature is in session for 90 days.
So I
God
told you,
help us, I can't
that's a
even
cool song,
imagine
right?
what's going to come out of there.
And you go,
And
I
it's
know.
fun.
That
People
was
say,
defense
"Oh,
me.
Maryland's getting like New York and like less." I said, wait a minute. Maryland
Pat
was like
McDonough
New
show
York
runs
and
out. Speaking of his phone tonight, huh?
5 or 6, 10 years ago. We are now way
Hi,
beyond.
Megan.
We are the
Let me get you a
California
match
of the
for you.
East Coast. And
And
people
we're
are fleeing
Megan.
Maryland to go to California. It's so bad. But the point is, that, and here's the other part about it, Kevin.
And what would you like to talk to Pat and the
I
guest
don't see
tonight?
it getting any better. I would hope. Some people say, well, Pat, how can we make it better? Why are these numbers so bad? You know, maybe we can import 400,000 people from Montana to come here or something. I'm not sure they want to do that. But anyway, we have 42 Republicans in the House.
Megan, I'm putting you
And
in
Kevin is one of them, and he's on the Ways and Means Committee.
You just
Ask
hold
him,
on.
and you've just been appointed the whip on that committee. explain what a whip does and also what that committee does.
So I did get the whip position, and it's really an honor because I've been on the committee for 5 years. So I kind of moved up through the ranks.
WCBM, the Pat
got the
McDonough
buy-in
show.
of
Ron
the
Travis speaking
members.
his call tonight.
Big shout out to Delegate Buckle for the help on getting this appointment,
This is Rick.
minority whip and leader. But the biggest job
Rick.
is the whip, and it's the only position in the minority
Rick.
party that's recognized by the speaker. We have minority leader, we have a couple of other positions, but the minority
Rick,
whip is
Rick.
super important. We have to go and report all the votes that are taken
And what would you like
in
to
the
call
Ways and Means
the
Committee, where everybody stands as soon as they occur. We're going to feed that up to the minority office, and that helps us shape our policy and direction on a lot of these kooky bills that are coming out right and left from
Yeah, man.
Democrats.
So these tax proposals to support Kerwin are coming out of your committee,
all coming to
or
Ways
they
and
have to
Means.
come through.
Yep, and they just keep getting more radical. We just had a bill drop last week where they want to eliminate every single tax.
Oh, brother Rick, I'll
credit.
tell you what, man. I'm putting you right on after Megan, man. You're
Not the
right
ones I
on
don't
there.
like.
Hold on,
Not
okay?
some here and some there.
And thanks for calling the show. Why
You're
don't
going to
you?
be busy, and we're
All right,
going to
hold
have.
on, hold on,
You know,
brother.
I've heard even rumors about a sales tax on services that can raise $1 million.
There
Look.
is no tax they have met that they don't like. It's just a free for all. And this whole thing about we're not going to raise property and we're not going to raise income tax. There's a lot of other taxes out there that they want to monkey with.
Well, there'll be a lot of stuff
Watch
coming
out.
out of there.
Yeah. Watch
People
out.
have to be alert as to what's going on. But we're outnumbered. We're like
Bam.
General Custer.
Yeah.
Well, this is the result of extreme gerrymandering.
Oh.
Most Democratic state in the country, most gerrymandering.
WCBM, the Pat
Well,
McDonough
that's
show.
coming
Ron
up
Travis
again?
speaking his
Yeah,
call
and that
tonight.
goes for the state and federal positions.
Yes, you know, Andy's District 1, Congressional District 1, covers 12 counties. And it's.
Well, you know, in the old days, people called talk radio a lot, and they used to say, if we could just get rid of that Michael Bush and that Michael Miller, things would be a lot better. And I used to question them. You may get what you want, and you will yearn for the good old days.
Yeah, careful what you wish for.
Because now, you know, Mike Miller used to stop. Of course, he let a lot of bad stuff go through, but he stopped and amended a lot of bad stuff that came out of the House. And now all the stopgaps are gone. It's wide open. It's
Well-
Dodge City, and the crazy stuff is coming.
Yeah, even the really, really bad stuff. If it got out of the House and it got over to the Senate, Miller would call up a few Republicans and say, "Hey,
One
I've got
for a
some
little
other
bit,
shit I can't
baby.
work with on
Barry
this."
Sully.
And it would happen, right? Was it the outcome that I always wanted? No. But you could do it.
WCBM, the Pat McDonough show. Ron
We
Travis
don't know what's
speaking.
going to happen.
Who's
now.
calling
It's
now,
not
right?
West.
Well, the pressure now is coming from the radicals.
Who's this?
Adrian Jones, the new speaker.
Renner?
And is it Peterson?
Yeah, the
Ferguson.
winner.
Ferguson.
Okay,
Bill
Is the
Ferguson in the
Senate.
Senate.
He's getting the same stuff. And he's a radical to begin with. I mean,
Hey, where
maybe
you calling
Adrian's a
from,
little
Winner?
bit more liberal, but Ferguson, he's a radical. And even though he's a nice guy and easy to work
Hey,
with,
what would you like
he's
to
still
talk
getting the
about?
pressure from all the nutcases. More so than he's getting any pressure from the Republicans because they don't have the numbers.
Well, this is the second year of that term. So last year, everybody was trying to figure out how things work. We had all these new super liberal members. This year, they've inundated bill drafting with bills.
Got it.
There's so many bills in there
Well,
now that we
you know,
can't
you're
even
calling
get
them
stuff
through.
printed.
You're right on.
And
Calling the Pat McDonough
their
show.
plan is to just
Oh,
take
please.
over the state,
Right.
erase all the gains that we've made, and move us towards socialism.
And it's not going to get any better, unfortunately. We can hope for the best, but the numbers play the game. It's what the numbers are.
WCBM, the
And
Pat
you see,
McDonough show. Ron
Prince
Travis
George's and
speaking his
Montgomery
call tonight.
are very bad. Now it's Howard County,
Yeah,
and
who's
it's
this?
even seeping into Frederick County.
Hey,
Very
George,
few
let me get you the magic
sanctuaries
computer.
left in the state of Maryland.
Holy
We have 6
moly.
million people, and they say, well, we're not losing anybody. We are losing a tremendous number
Yeah,
of
what's that,
productive
man?
citizens. They say, well, how come we keep maintaining 6
Oh, man,
million?
that's
Because
this is like 5
Democrats
minutes right
from
back on the
Washington,
song,
D.C.
Batman.
and
And
illegals
now
are
slide
moving
down
in.
the whole throat.
We have 1 in
And what would
6
you like to
people
talk
in
to?
Maryland. 1
What would you like
million
to
are
talk
not
to?
foreign
And the guest
nationals.
tonight about
Yeah, we have welfare tourism. That is real.
Yeah. So the numbers are bad. You know, Pancho Villa once said
what?
that it was the great misfortune of Mexico that God put us next to America.
Mhm.
I got up on the floor of the House
Oh,
one day and I
man.
said that.
That's a
and I
good
said,
topic. You're
Pancho
calling number
McDonough
4, okay?
says
Just hold on. And if
that
not, I'm
it
going
was
to
the
make
great
sure you get
misfortune of
airtime.
Maryland that God put us next to Washington, D.C.
Pat, we all miss your whimsical sayings. It's just not the same without you down there.
You know, people used to ask me, they say, why would you get up and speak on the floor of the House? Were you just a grandstander on the House? I said, no, I had all
A, B, C.
one of them trapped.
Yeah, you were the grandstander, not a grandstander.
Captive audience.
Yeah, they could. And most of my remarks, I would try to stick to the issue, but it was being critical. Like one time I got up and I said, you know, the problem with these undocumented Democrats is, and they roared on that one, right? But the Prince George's radicals, when I was getting too far-fetched, they would start making noises, you know, and I would say to the speaker, Mr. Speaker, can we have some decorum in the House, please? Yep. And he'd take the gavel and he'd hit it, and then I'd go on and I'd get really bad, and he would say, would the delegates stick to the issue, please? And they were all moaning and groaning. I said, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think I said all that.
Then they get up there and call the question. They got all sorts of stuff in the trick bag.
Well, he turned my microphone off a couple times.
Oh,
in fact,
the ultimate insult.
Yeah, like on the last day.
Don't turn my mic off, baby.
Uh-huh.
And I stood up and I was speaking, and he turned my microphone off in mid-sentence. Now, is that part of the rules? You know what I did? I ran to the left to the other microphone. He turned the whole bank off.
Pat, I've
Pat,
never known
never
you to
run to the left. Never, exactly.
I was on the end. I was on the very end. I couldn't go the other way.
Sure.
But he turned the whole row off. And then I said, Mr. Speaker, and I'm shouting out with my big mouth. I'm bellowing, Mr. Speaker, you're violating the rules by turning the mics off. He said, I have no way to turn the mics off. Like who turned the mics off?
Uh-huh.
He's got that button under there.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk with a few of our folks calling in here. Talk to Rick. Rick is in Reisterstown. Rick, good evening.
Hey, Rick.
No, I got the wrong person. All right, Edwina. Hi, go ahead. You're from Cecil County.
Oh, hello.
Hey.
Hi, Danielle. I'm going to tell you about our support, and of course your husband too. We've always been supporters.
Oh, many thanks.
Bada bing, bada
Wish you all the
boom.
luck in the world. And to ask for support for Governor Hogan's bill to
50-second heartbreak.
Retired.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
because I'm old, so I need all the help I can get.
Mm-hmm.
Edwina, thank you for calling about that. We're going to promote that on this show every week.
Absolutely.
No, this is a common sense bill,
Heartbreak, baby.
and also coming to the Ways and Means Committee, and
40
I'm
seconds.
going to fight the hardest I can to get that passed because we're just running our seniors out of this state.
That's another group we're running.
Yeah.
All right, well, we had a break. Thank you, Edwina, very much.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah, we are going to take a break for the news, the Unstoppable News. We'll be right back for the second hour of the Pat McDonough Show.
Stay connected with stimulating talk and breaking news on Talk Radio 680 WCBM, Baltimore, and WCBM.com.
The Senate gets a preview. I'm Joe Chiro.
That was a tight one.
President Trump's legal team began its opening arguments in the Senate impeachment trial during a short session. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
White House counsel says there's no evidence of a quid pro quo or a pressure campaign telling senators.
Oh, WCBM, the Pat McDonough Show. We're on Saturday speaking. Who's calling right?
President. Take a look at President Zelensky's own answers. But lead impeachment manager Adam Schiff says those don't tell the
This
whole
is
story.
Alex. Alex.
They were really interested.
All right, Alex,
in
let me
the
get you the magic.
American people knowing all the facts. They
And Alex,
wouldn't be
we call from
fighting
my friend.
to make sure that this is the first trial in
Okay,
history
cool.
without witnesses.
Schiff says claims made by the
And we
president's
were talking
team
about
invite
the
answers from
impeachment?
witnesses and documents subpoenaed by the House.
I'm
Senators
gonna
will
put
consider
you
those
in right
requests
after the news.
next week.
You have some
We'll
good
have
airtime,
Jack
Alex.
Halpern, Fox News.
The trial
Oh,
resumed.
my pleasure, Alex. Thank you for calling, huh?
Sanders
And you
and
just hold on.
Elizabeth Warren
I'll get you in, man. I'm from Rosedale, man. I went to St. Clements.
The Des Moines Register has announced that they are
Oh,
endorsing her in the Iowa Democratic caucuses, writing in part, quote, "The senior U.S. Senator from Massachusetts is not the radical some perceive her to be. She is a capitalist, but she wants fair markets with rules and accountability. She wants a government that works for people, not one corrupted by cash." Even without the Des Moines Register endorsement, Sanders supporters have something to cheer about tonight. According to a new New York Times poll, Sanders is peaking at a pivotal moment. 25% of likely Iowa caucus goers now say Senator Sanders is their first choice.
Fox's Allison Barber in Ames, Iowa. Israeli aircraft struck several sites for Gaza militants in response to incendiary balloons launched from the Palestinian enclave. Israeli military says the sites belonged to Hamas and included weapons manufacturing and intelligence gathering facilities. There were no reports of injuries. America is listening to Fox News.
There you go, baby. Right here.
Subscribe and listen to the latest from Fox
Got it,
News
Barbara.
podcasts. It's the Impeachment Witch Hunt with Fox News legal analyst Greg
Okay.
Jarrett. A must listen to get the full legal view of the current impeachment. Greg lays out the historical context and what is on the line.
Yeah, we got another one coming in, baby.
All in one place.
I'll be right with you guys.
Does apply.
Wow.
Congressional
I love it, though. I love it, though.
FoxNewsPodcasts.com to download and subscribe now. America is listening to Fox News.
America is a special place. It's a place where we work for what we want and speak up for what we believe. Where we have the power to
Put
change
that right there. We got it
the course of our
covered. We got it covered.
and the world. Every 4 years, we make a
Shut up. Hold on. This is all correct, right?
Officials in China now report 56 deaths from the coronavirus and nearly 2,000 cases.
The city of Wuhan, home to some 11 million residents in the east of China, remains the epicenter of this crisis. Over the last 24 hours, the central government has sent hundreds of military doctors into that city and is building 2 makeshift hospitals, the first of which they're hoping will be ready to go a week from Monday. The vast majority of the people infected globally, a number that has risen from just 40 a week and a half ago, are in Wuhan.
The State Department sent a plane staffed with medical personnel to evacuate the American consulate in Wuhan. There are 2 confirmed cases in the U.S. and now a case in Canada. A 5.0 magnitude earthquake rattled southern Puerto Rico today. No deaths or injuries reported. In eastern Turkey, the strong quake killed at least 29 people. A pilot blinded by a laser at Sarasota Bradenton Airport.
Wow, baby. Barry Selby. Thanks, Barry. Barry's always been a great friend. From here to the Green Mountain Cemeteries, to underground, where you would swear that the vampire lives there. Barry's cool.
Temporary blindness and lingering blurred vision. The other pilot was not injured. Multiple pilot reports led police to Chapman, forcing police to use a stun gun. Chapman is being charged with aggravated assault, pointing a laser at a pilot with injury.
Bailiff, whack his PP.
Without violence. Like Piazza, Fox News. 2 astronauts made a spacewalk today outside the International Space Station to make repairs to a cosmic ray detector. NASA officials say, barring further trouble, the almost 9-year-old spectrometer would resume its hunt for antimatter and dark matter next week. I'm Jill.
Dark matter, huh?
This is Fox News.
8, 9, hit it.
High pressure building in as we get into the early part of the work week. It's a very quiet finish to the weekend.
Is that right?
Now we will see skies clearing after a very gray Saturday. We'll let it back into the low to mid 30s for our Sunday. We're mostly sunny, afternoon high, mid to upper 40s. We're partly cloudy Sunday night, overnight low drops back to 32, and we'll call it partly sunny for Monday.
Is that what you call it?
High, mid to upper 40s. I'm Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel for Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, Protect My Car is announcing a low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay nothing for auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-285-9584 now. Drivers who are covered by Protect My Car will not have to pay for a covered repair bill again. This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free car rental at no additional cost. Call Protect My Car for your free quick quote today. 800-285-9584. 800-285-9584. What do you have to lose? Again, 800-285-9584.
You're listening to The Morning Drive with Casey and Elliott, and when you hear a trivia question about the Baltimore Colts or Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl games. You're the first caller, correct answer, and you're qualified to win a Super Bowl party for 10 from Saucer Grill, 6644 Security Boulevard, serving Baltimore since 1993. You'll enjoy crab balls, chicken wings, and Caesar salad. We'll draw all the listeners for the right answers. Announce the winner at 7:30 a.m. Friday, January 31st. Here's a test question. Who coached the Colts in the 1971 Super Bowl?
Broadcasting from the WCBM Safe Retirement Solutions studios. Call Rob.
Yeah, it is.
410-266.
We'll talk to Robert while I talked to Robert. Did you?
The views and opinions you hear on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and WCBM.com are not necessarily those of the owners, management, employers, and advertisers of WCBM, but they should be.
The Pat McDonough Show is brought to you by Rally for America. Show on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and worldwide at WCBM.com.
Welcome back, everybody. And Edwina brought up a good point about this tax cut for seniors in Maryland. A lot of good seniors, productive seniors, are moving to Delaware if they really love their grandchildren. The ones that, well, they care about their grandchildren, they're moving to Florida. So,
Yay!
Now, we're going to have a $700 million deficit, structural deficit, so-called. The deficit's a deficit.
Yeah.
They want money for the Kerwin education thing and all this other stuff. It's going to be tough in all reality, I would assume, to get any kind of break for seniors, but it would be a wonderful thing and productive economically for the state.
The pathway is we take care of our seniors and do that hold harmless on 50,000, 100,000 for married couples. And then the other pathway is we take all that money and fence it off and give it to Kerwin. And it just goes.
So that's where it's going to go.
Goes into a box and disappears.
Yeah,
So,
and I don't know about you. I have a good guess, but my opinion, and I think a lot of our thoughts are, we realize that it's really the family that makes a huge difference in
75 and
how
60 seconds.
kids are successful.
Okay, let's
So if we see all these grandparents packing up and moving out,
To a point,
yeah, it's
got a lot to do with it.
It does.
A lot to do with it. Now, I want to just say very quickly, because Edwina brought it up, we got a lot of callers.
There it
We're
is.
going to go to all of them very quickly also.
TakeMeFishing.org. I like that.
I forgot to mention, I think, that you are running for county executive in Cecil County, and I'll be fair and honest, I didn't even know they had a county executive, but they do. So that's a growing county.
That's correct.
And would you be the first woman?
No, actually,
no? Okay.
no, actually. So it has. We did used to have the commissioner system.
That's the 75.
Our charter,
And then we got,
I believe, was I think they wrote it around 2010, but it actually came into action in 2012. And our first executive was a female. So
Okay.
Anybody that says that Cecil County isn't ready for a female county executive,
Already been done.
Already been done. That's
Well, this
right.
is interesting, Danielle. Being county executive, you'd be the leader of the county. You'd be in a very high position. You would be in a higher position than Kevin. Now, does this mean that you could boss him around?
Well, I would actually be the first laddie.
Okay.
I think he likes that name. What do you think?
I think he does too. All right. But anyway, let's go to some of these callers. Rick has been waiting the longest. And,
Rick. Go, Rick, baby.
Rick, good evening.
Good evening, Pat. How are you?
Good.
Got two things to bring up. One, I'd like to have the mayor address how bad crime has to get before us private citizens can see the criminals and shoot back.
Right. We should have a right to carry law.
Number two, the red laws that Mr. Hogan put into place are severely unconstitutional. They remove our right to due process.
Oh, yeah.
Big Fourth Amendment concerns there.
Constitutionally challenged by now with 2 people dead in Anne Arundel County.
Yeah, and they're being aggressively enforced in Maryland.
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you, Rick. Now,
Thank
The
you,
two
Rick.
months on that
Thank you,
path,
Rick.
you know,
This is a
one, they're
taped
too
show,
busy
so you can
banning
hear
classes
forever,
in
ever, even
Baltimore
after
City
death.
right now to,
Sure.
to be bothered with this crime. Secondly, major Fourth Amendment concerns with the red flag bill. Voted against it, worked against it. Not a fan at all.
Well, it's just like Olszewski is passing a bill to take all of these gun shops, these dealerships, 19 small businesses, some of them are big, but they're mostly small, and imposing upon them all of these mandates, which average $50,000 to $75,000 on a small business. And you know what he's doing it for? Because he's running for governor, and that's his, what do you call it, scalp on the wall on the gun issue to get votes in Montgomery County. He doesn't really care about the safety of these gun shops. Now, we are working, Super Citizen is working on a report that's hopefully going to come out by
Yay.
April or May called the Truth Report. The basis for this report is the following. Baltimore City will never solve its crime problem, and it will spread to Baltimore County and other suburbs throughout the state.
Sure.
To find out why this is happening and the real answer, read inside.
Well, this is the new status quo. Baltimore County has seen the most violent year on record.
But here's what people don't know. All of the candidates running for mayor have not mentioned the simple fact. And what the Truth Report will address with facts and figures, just like the lawyers on the impeachment for Trump, is that the reason for the continuing increase in crime and the real reason why it will never be solved is because of the politicians have the power to solve it. Give you an example. Classic right now. Hogan, who I'm not a fan of, but his bills on crime are good
All right,
bills.
Ron, let me get you the
They will
message
not
here.
get out of the committee because the city delegation, which is mostly African American, representing an African American
And what would
community,
you like to talk to Pat
are
and the
opposed
customer
to it.
about, Ron?
They are pro-criminal. They are criminal advocates. The city council is the same way. All the candidates for mayor, they want to give them voting. What do they call those things? The voting sheets when they're leaving prison. Convicted felons can vote.
Right.
They got rid of the capital punishment. They voted against every mandatory sentencing law. And then they have Mosby, the biggest politician of them all, not complete 21% of her cases have been solved on capital debt. 21%. So that is the real solution. The real solution is zero tolerance, mandated sentencing, and what we're going to push through the truth. And the Truth Report is going to every legislator, every council member, every
Lord have mercy,
business
Lord Jesus,
leader,
Lord have mercy, Lord
every
Jesus.
media person in the entire state. Plus, it's going to be distributed to 20,000 people.
Wow.
And we want people to know the truth. Why this is going to get worse? It's going to get worse.
Right. And I'll say this, the citizens of Baltimore City, they want safe neighborhoods, right?
Yeah, man.
They don't want to have this crime. They don't want to have their property values depressed.
They don't know what to do.
The answer is they need new leadership. I have some colleagues in Baltimore City who are working very hard on this. They're of the younger cohort. There has to be a fundamental change in how the city's run, and that starts at the top with the mayor.
They need a blessing like William Donald Schaefer. Let me tell you, and I don't see it anywhere, okay? But they need to pass, and we're going to put forward a crime-fighting public safety line of bills, mandatory sense. There is a thing called constitutional stop and search. Do it constitutional. That's what Giuliani did in New York. Went from 2,200 murders to 600.
I know.
Yes.
Where are we? Who is next here? Oh, okay. Let's talk to Alex in Rosedale.
Alex, go ahead.
Alex, good evening. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Megan. I'm sorry.
Megan.
Hit the wrong button.
Hello?
Yes, Megan, you're on the air.
Yes, hi. Thanks for having me on, Pat. How are you?
Yes, we're fine. What is your question or comment?
Well, first, congratulations to Delegate Hornburger on the wit position.
Oh, thank you.
But, the reason I was calling in was to find out more about what the Hornburgers plan to do to improve things in Cecil County.
Okay, thank you, Megan. Her question is, how do you improve Cecil County? I guess
Well, yeah,
there's always room for improvement.
Absolutely. That's a big question. I'll first put out my web address, so you can go to Danielle.
Have your policy
Hornburger.
issued.
Yeah. Go to DanielleHornburger.com. And it is a big question. think one thing my opponent is struggling with is, his agenda, because he isn't really coming from the correct approach, in my opinion, which is that we work for the citizens of Cecil, not the other way around. That's number one in my book. I think that
Oh man, I just found something.
citizens and businesses,
Oh man,
small businesses.
this is a really good show tonight, man. I'm telling you, Rick. Hey, Rick Eggles, how you doing, man?
They have the same problem in Hartford.
Is it
County with
spring yet?
warehouses that employ 10 people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Completely taking over the landscape.
Yeah, I mean,
You're getting them up there, so they jump from
Oh, we
Hartford
are.
up to Cecil County.
oh, we are, yes, indeed. And I think we're being sold a false bill of sales. I'm actually from Waldorf. And, when I was a young child, Waldorf was still pretty rural. I loved it. And Cecil County is where Kevin is born and raised.
When we split, right?
I love Cecil, and a
In
lot
2
of
minutes,
us
almost.
moved to Cecil or,
All right, let me call it.
staying in Cecil because it's rural. So the warehouses is definitely an issue. Taxes.
Is that right?
Do I
2 minutes?
do I need to say more? Megan, I don't know if you're from Cecil.
Well, Megan's actually from
The Godfather.
Oh, okay.
She
Well,
knows about taxes.
The Godfather of
she knows
Soul,
about
right?
Taxes.
He's going to be
Taxes are
taking
a
it.
huge issue. We have some of the
a
highest
song called-
taxes in the state, which is hard to believe.
Amazing
with
for
our-
I don't even
rural
tell you because you're going to
county.
die. You're going to love it. You're going to love it
Those
so
have been
much.
recently implemented.
That's correct.
I
So
got
that
the
came
feeling.
under the current administration.
Under the current administration.
Well, that'll
that
drive
being
people out.
funded. Yes, yeah. So taxes and fees just continue to go up. We don't even go back to constant yield. We've got a surplus. It's just, there's all kinds of things that
Damn it,
just don't make sense right now.
I love it.
Do you think it's special interests are kind of taking control of things there?
Yeah.
So you're a
Yes,
reform
they have.
candidate. You want change.
Yeah, well, change. Got it.
Well, we'll be talking more with you about those issues. I'm not that familiar, although I represented Hartford
Then we'll come
County.
back with
That's correct.
Edgar Winter with the
Oh,
Frankenstein. How's that, huh?
That was weird. I'm telling you.
Oh, Stephanie Ann.
You represent Hartford?
Just Cecil. However,
I was
my
gonna pick-
parent
I was gonna
district,
pick
unit
something.
35 reaches into Hartford.
With the Senate part.
Stephanie.
It was always weird to represent Hartford
1
County
minute.
and Baltimore County at the same
I'm
time.
so happy. Are you?
You split the line. You're right,
Right down the
also
middle.
equal distance on both
Yeah,
sides. Yeah.
And don't forget the
people in Hartford County had a whole different issue. You had different Hartford counties. They had a different school.
And do you have
board.
your Pat
They had
McDonough?
no idea.
You got
and
your
did
Pat
not
McDonough?
care about what was going
Pat
on in
McDonough
Baltimore County. And the people in Baltimore County had a whole different set of issues. They did not care about what was going on in Hartford County. And my district ran up 152 Mountain Road. It ran all the way up to the
Mountain Road, yeah.
Pennsylvania line. From Joppatown to the Pennsylvania line, it was so big.
That's putting a lot of miles on the pickup.
I
for the
had to,
campaign
no, I had to
season.
buy a helicopter.
Yeah, I believe it.
And I didn't realize it actually went into Pennsylvania. And I was actually also in the Pennsylvania legislature, which was predominantly Republican, and I was elected Speaker of the House.
Wow. Congrats.
But I couldn't serve because I was a resident of Maryland. But, I mean, you talk about big districts.
Yeah.
That district was big. All right, let's talk with George, who is in Towson. George, good evening.
How you doing, Mr. Pat?
Mr. Pat is doing okay.
Hey, listen, I got like three things to mention real quick. First of all, I hear rumblings about tent cities going up here in Maryland.
Tent
just
City.
like in,
Yes, I did tape
California.
the show. Step on
That
me.
one in Cecil.
Let me see where you're at.
And also,
I am very happy. You
I'd
look
like to
great. And
mention
thank you,
the,
sweetheart. You sounded great this
they're
evening,
going
too, when I was.
after guns
I did-
in the way that if you
Did Mom
unattended,
call
you
you?
could
Because
have
I still got to call
Yeah.
her. Let's give her a call.
$100,000.
That's what I heard. It might come into the
Oh,
legislature.
I just step. I got the.
Little piece of, you
Oh,
know,
Pee-Pee's there. Pee-Pee, man.
Johnny Zero
Pee-Pee.
in Baltimore County, we got
He's a
double
wonderful
the
co-worker. He's a
deaths.
nice man. He's a nice man. He's a wonderful co-worker. Okay.
In Baltimore County and the 350 in the city.
Well, watch this song. I'm coming
out.
out.
The Metro Center has.
They're gonna flip at him in hood. The guy probably so.
1,000 shooting incidents.
I got the
That's
feeling
in
this is
metropolitan
bad.
Baltimore.
You never hear about how many, I mean, you hear about the people being killed, but how many people get wounded, you know?
Well, that's the shooting incidents. 1,000.
I think
1,000.
This
in the schools. When I went to high school in the county here, they ran those high schools like reform school, man. You threw up and they threw you out.
I was yes, that was Dr. Robert Dubell. Dr. Robert Dubell. He was
to kick you in the face or whatever you want, and nothing happens. What is wrong with that?
Okay.
When can't you send your kids to school and be safe?
All right, George. Thanks for the call. He's 100% right about that.
Yeah, criminals don't recognize borders. They don't represent county lines, state lines.
You know what he's talking about? The violence in Baltimore County.
Yeah.
School violence is worse than Baltimore City, believe it or not.
Oh.
Barack Obama created that with a memo. It wasn't even an executive order. It was a memo based on racism, and it said, along with the Attorney General, Barack Obama, Holder, that you could not take a child, suspend them, or punish them in any way because the minorities, this caused them to lose their education and wind up in prison. It was called the school to prison policy. And they backed it up by having Holder take the Civil Rights Division, and the Civil Rights Division would enforce the law against the school if they didn't do it. Now, Dallas Stance in Baltimore County loved Obama and loved this law, and 90 school districts across the country accepted this law. Trump got rid of it. But guess what? In Maryland, in the legislature, Delegate Lutke and that bunch passed all similar state regulations. So even though we got rid of it and we could have put in, and what I've done, there's a parents group that has 1,200 families that are part of this. They have a website. Nicole runs it. Can't think of the name. She can call if she wants, if she's listening. But I said, here's how we do it. We call it 911 Kid. Okay. If your child is hurt, harmed, threatened in any way, do not rely on the SROs, the police in the school, because the principal has authority over them, not the police chief. You call 911 and you file a complaint for assault.
Yeah, one of the big issues, and this gets back to bullying, which the legislature has tried to deal with, is that many of these incidents are underreported or not reported.
No, they're not reported at all.
So the kid comes home, tells mom and dad what happened, and mom and dad call in, and there's no record.
I'll tell you a quick story, and we got to take a break.
Sure.
Haley Wilson, who worked for me, she was my chief of staff. Okay, her daughter Lily went to the first grade in Middle River. Okay, so Lily was on her first bus ride
Haley's
home,
cool, man.
and some kid hit her in the head with a big school bag and injured her.
It's that Vegas woman
So
again.
She got off the
We
bus.
call that the
The bus was
prison
supposed to
pipeline.
stop when that happens. That's the law.
It didn't
And
work
call
at
the
all.
police. Didn't do it.
Right.
So Lily got off the bus, told her mother. Her mother the next day went over to the school and said to the principal what happened, and
Godfather
they
soul
didn't do
coming up.
anything about it. So she called me. So I called the superintendent.
Yeah.
And I said, if you don't do something about this, I'm going to do a news conference, and I'm going to file a complaint for assault against Lily. You better take care of this.
Right.
So she actually took care of it. She got who the kid that did that and everything. They put him out of school for a couple of days and all that. They reprimanded the bus driver for not following the law. So then a couple of days later, the vice principal of the school gets on that bus with Lily. When Lily gets off, he's at Haley's house, and he confronts Haley and gives her a lot of crap for going outside the system to me.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I called the superintendent. I
Wow.
said,
Oh, man.
I want him fired.
Well, you saw what happened in Baltimore County here with the superintendent with Dallas Dance.
Well, I helped get rid of it. I was the guy that filed the
It's-
ethics complaint to get rid of it.
It's a leadership issue, and there's some.
But I told the superintendent, White, who never got appointed, right? I told her, I said, I want this guy fired. There's got to be some kind of reprimand. So she gave him a week off and reprimanded him.
Watch this, James Brown song. You're gonna die.
Have the nerve.
Yeah, it's
So
about
hold on.
leadership.
Confront a mother.
It's about leadership. We've got a great superintendent up in Cecil County. Jeff is doing a great job, but it's about leadership. If all
He's
these
probably
laws
under those.
don't
I'll
mean
tell you,
anything,
Kevin, and I'll say this to you, Danielle, when you become county executive, he's probably operating under those same state stupid laws.
Yeah.
Because we're tying his. All right, we need to take a break. We're way behind.
Oh, yeah.
And Ron is looking at me funny.
That's okay. It'll be a good song.
Right.
As
Has the insanity of the world got you down? Fear not, fellow Marylanders. I, Derek Hunter, am here to guide you through the insanity.
Derek Hunter, weekday mornings 9 to noon on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Are you facing tax problems? No matter how long it's been since you last filed, if you have faced unemployment, loss of a
I'm gonna go
family,
ask Pat if he has the feeling, all right?
you can't afford to fix your tax problems, contact Advantage Tax Service, the Tax Killer. With the Tax Killer Rescue Plan, you have options you'll find nowhere else. Since 1989, Rose Harbaugh, former IRS employee, has helped many Marylanders and others outside the state resolve their problems. Advantage Tax Service has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and works overtime to assist the taxpayer to avoid additional penalty and interest.
3-minute stations, 3 minutes to your next Fox News 3030.
And Rose Harbaugh, owner of Advantage Tax Service, met and was interviewed by Tom Marr when he did her ads. So give Rose
3 minutes.
Harbaugh,
I got 3
IRS
minutes.
employee, a call at 410-869-TAXX, 410-869-8299, or online at taxkiller.com. That's taxkiller.com.
Allow me to offer some sound advice. More than 35 million men, women, and children have hearing loss, and the number is growing. You need to begin your journey toward healthy hearing now by calling Clarity and Comfort Hearing Center at 410-256-1006. The center is located in Perry Hall. Begin your journey to healthy hearing by calling Clarity and Comfort Hearing Center at 410-256-1006. This message is sound advice.
I fish. I also clean local waterways so others can fish and swim. I help build public boat ramps for easy access to the water. I provide fishing and water safety education for kids. I maintain a healthy fish population so tomorrow's anglers can enjoy a catch. I prevent unwanted species from spreading into waters where they don't belong. I restore the condition of rivers to help fish and wildlife thrive. I fund long-term plans to protect our lakes and streams. I do all of these things and more, all because I buy a fishing license.
Because I buy a fishing license.
In fact, every dollar from a license purchase protects.
As a matter of fact, every dollar that you buy should get a fishing license.
To learn more about how you can get your
Luco Brasi will buy you fishes because he sleeps with them. Ha ha ha.
Lawyer, musician, and radio host. That's me.
Oh, I told you that Frankenstein, he's going to come on now. That's that Edgar man. He's a nice man.
10 p.m. every Saturday, right here on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
His shirt was like all mangled. And I said, "Did you iron that?" He goes, "I spent an hour last night ironing the shirt." I said, "Did you use steam or anything?" He says, "No." Was I supposed to?
Well, isn't that your fault for not teaching him how to iron properly?
Wasn't my fault. There's YouTube videos.
Join me for the Kim Commander.
Watch this Frankenstein. I'm trying as much as I can.
On Talk Radio 680.
I love FCC.
And now more of the Pat McDonough Show on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and worldwide at WCBM.com.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Danielle Bergen. What is your name again? Hornburger.
A blessing and a curse.
And also Kevin Hornburger is here with us as state delegate. And Danielle is running for county executive in Cecil County. And she was talking about this problem. We were talking earlier about all the taxes it's going to take.
Did you like that? Did you all like that?
Thing. And Danielle was saying how it's going to hit the counties, because the counties also, not only the legislature and the state taxpayers, but the county taxpayers have to pay for this thing.
Yeah, wow. That's a big haircut to break off for us. I mean,
And this is all new money. This is new money you got to come up with.
yeah, it's scary. Kerwin is going to steer state taxes to those few counties in central Maryland, and the county taxes. It's scary. It really is.
So that's something you got to try to work out or fight against.
Yeah.
And Kevin, of course,
I
you're
mean,
on the front lines. You're on the Ways and Means Committee. Oh my God.
$6 billion
Well,
here,
mine
$6 billion
too.
there. You know, sooner or later you're talking about some real money.
Radio man.
It's amazing. I think it's going to bankrupt the family
Great.
budget and it's
Yeah.
going to bankrupt the counties. I know in Baltimore County, it's like $40 million.
Jeez.
Cecil's looking at 14 million
14 million.
increase.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk with some of our people. We'll start off with Alex, who is in Rosedale. Alex, good evening.
Hi, good evening, Pat, and then your wonderful guest. Thanks for taking my call. My issue is about the process with the impeachment. All the Republicans that voted for President Trump. It seems like we're really put at odds with this thing. With
remember
the worst part about it all is that there's so much leakage going on. And it's also a distraction with what the president needs and would like to do furthermore with these illegal votes that are coming into our country. These votes of these undocumented immigrants is really getting to be one bad issue where it's going to flip things to the other end. But this is another point that I saw recently. I worked at an exercise gym. I saw on the big television screens there is somebody that's in the White House that is a leftover from the Obama age, and he's causing more leakage of this problem with the system. And I wonder if he is one of the ones that's giving these Democrats on the other side that's doing this impeachment more fuel and information what he could spy on our president while he's in the White House. This guy should have been gone. It's just like the wolves are watching over the hen house. You can't trust somebody who has ulterior motive that's a leftover from the other party in the White House. I don't know why this never was investigated. If they can take him or get him and put a lie detector test or scrutinize him, but now with the president's hands tied, they have it all figured out. Now with his hands tied, he can't do anything because he's already the president's being scrutinized. It's just like you go to Vietnam War. You should get the enemy before the enemy gets you. Well, here's the opposite way around. President Trump has his hands tied now. He can't prosecute or do anything because he's the one being investigated. I think the whole process is wrong.
All right, Alex.
Gone this far.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Well-
Alex, completely agree with you. I mean, you've got a few people, a very few people in the Congress that are trying to overturn the will of 63 million Americans who voted for Trump.
You know, the Democrats love to come up with this idea of voter suppression.
Yep.
Oh, you want people to show their driver's license. That's voter suppression. This is the suppression of 63 million American voters who duly elected a president. Now, I got to tell you, Alex, it's not just one person in the White House. It's people through what we call the permanent government, the administrative state,
The swamp
or the
critters.
swamp
Yeah,
critters.
the swamp critters.
They're all over the place. And I know a lady who works for the president who is one of the people in charge of hiring people for the administration. And I visited her last summer. And she said, Pat, the problem we have is when we put somebody in a position, these Democrats that are within the bureaucracy and the Congress, the House, they harass these people. They come to the point where they don't even want the job anymore. So they're making it very difficult for the president to replace people. Now, on the other hand, this is the glorious, glorious thing. He's replacing judges at a record pace.
That's right.
187 federal judges. And if he is reelected, and he will be, there are 700 federal judges in the federal judiciary. He will have about 60% of them as conservative, and maybe one or two more Supreme Court justices.
Yeah, that's already one of his biggest legacies
Yes.
in place right now is appointment of these judges. And I'll tell you, this permafrost that is infecting our government, as these folks, they've burrowed in there. They've been in there for many years, many administrations, presidents come and go, yet they're still there.
Well, that's the permanent government, or as a lot of people like to call it, the shadow government. And they're in very sensitive positions. They're in the State Department in particular. Every State Department secretary appointed by a Republican, including under Bush and even Ronald Reagan in particular, complained. Ronald Reagan once said in the White House, he said, we own the White House. They own the media. They own the newspapers. They own education. They own colleges. They own Hollywood. They own big corporations. We own the White House. That's it. So we are surrounded like General Custer. Now, General Custer was lucky. They killed him immediately. Like, Kevin, you're surrounded. They torture you every year.
Well, that's the life of a politician. You have to die over and over and over again.
Well,
General
especially-
Custer only had to do it once.
Right, and he was surrounded by Democrats. All right, let's talk with Ron in Middle River. Also, we have some open lines finally if you'd like to get in. We have about a half hour left. You can call us at 410-922-6680. That's 410-922-6680. It's an open show. And also 1-800. If you're long distance, it's a free call, free toll. 1-800-922-6680. And we do have open lines. And you can call us about anything you want to talk about. But I want to mention, before the show is over, a couple of things that are very important. Super Citizen is a nonpartisan organization that promotes conservatism. That's like strategism.
Extra conservatism.
That's real conservatism. And we also fight, quite frankly, against the resistance. You know, there are two flaws, two problems the conservatives have. Number one, we don't have any media. We have very little media. We don't have power in the media.
Yep.
So Super Citizen has a media network. We have this radio show, we have television, we have a newsletter, we have public events. So we're fighting to have media in Maryland that reflects the conservative viewpoint. What's the other flaw the conservatives have? They're not organized.
2 minutes.
It's hard. It's like, trying to herd cats.
We're too busy working.
That's the point.
That's the problem.
We're busy working. We're raising our families. So we do have a grassroots. The great thing about Super Citizen has two things that fight these flaws. We have a media network and we have a grassroots organization. Now, it's very easy to join. It costs you $20. Go to our supercitizenusa.com website. You can pay to join there. You get the newsletter, all kinds of little special benefits. If you attend an event that costs $100, it costs you $75. So it's a great organization. We've got to support it. Our goal is to have 100,000 members by 2022 when the big elections come up for governor and the state. So that we can press a button and hit out to, we already have on our email system 20,000 people.
So
we had 12,000 on our Facebook and the lefties hacked it.
Wow.
That shows you're successful. They hacked it. I'm waiting for the day when the Baltimore Sun does another editorial about me and says this xenophobe, racist, claims to be a conservative, and he's misleading the poor people of Maryland. And when they do that, I know they've arrived.
Or when your Facebook page gets changed to BaltimoreSun.com.
Right. And let me tell you, this is something that'll take everybody's breath away and will make you feel really good. The Baltimore Sun used to have 200,000 people a day
20 minutes.
Getting the Baltimore Sun.
See, we have so much fun. It goes so fast.
50,000.
Doesn't it do that, Cosmo?
They're really moving down. We may have 50,000 Super Citizen newsletters in a couple of years, or maybe even a year.
Yeah, bring it on.
So anyway, that's what we're trying to do. So I realize that everybody does not have a computer. And for the millennials and Danielle and Kevin, they won't believe this, but not everybody has. So you can call my office if you want to get information and join. It's 410-238-0025. That's 410-238-0025. We got a lot of great things coming up. We have a women's leadership forum. We have a thing called the Truth Report that's coming out about crime and what the real problem is and what the real solution is. We have a documentary coming out about how the United States would be after 20 years of socialist presidents. To give you an idea what it's all about, it's called Doomsday America 2040. So we're working on a lot of stuff. We have a lot of irons in the fire. Here is Ron in Middle River. Ron, good evening.
Yeah.
All right. Ron,
good evening, Brad. How you doing?
Hey,
he's
Ron,
going to have
how
new
are you?
commercials, okay?
Fine. I'm working with the homeless now. And
that's good. Hey, Claude, somebody else is working with the homeless.
I took a trip up in town today, and in the doorways, some of the doorways.
Is that Cosmo?
people sleeping
Hey, what's
in
up,
the
Cosmo?
daytime.
I thought you died. I don't hear from you anymore.
This is Baltimore City. But
I just don't know.
anyway,
I
my
just don't know.
topic today is everybody has a cross to bear, especially our president at this time.
Yes, they do.
And our president did a job that no politician could have done. He brought prosperity and friendship from our enemies and also gave respect to our armed forces. They are number one in America.
Yeah, and he took out two of the biggest, Baghdadi or whatever his name was, from ISIS. He destroyed ISIS, and he took care of Suleiman. And also, he got that other guy was with those proxy forces. That leader, he got a twofer.
Well, yeah, and in terms of your comment on the poverty, it is a huge issue, both in the rural areas where we live in Baltimore City and throughout the state. But the best way to get these folks motivated in their life is to get them a job. And we have the lowest unemployment on record, thanks to President Trump.
President Trump, that's right.
So, you know.
And also because of the tax cuts, Ron, the Democrats like to say, well, it was only for corporations. The biggest increases in income as a result of the tax cuts are for middle class and working class. And the unemployment rates are the lowest.
We're going to take it there with
for blacks,
not the first,
for women,
but the
for
last.
Hispanics.
Train to Clarksville by the men case.
So you ask the question, why is there homelessness? And that is where we ought to study that. We ought to look into that. We ought to find out why at a time when we have a record economy.
Yes.
That's a good question to ask.
Sure. There we go. I mean, there's of course mental health issues. There's a myriad of of reasons that I think add to.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Pat?
Yes, Ron.
Yeah. Thing is, just remember in the Bible it says there that the poor will always be with us.
Wow.
I just thought I'd mention that.
Well, anyway, Ron, I want to commend you. You've done a lot of good work for veterans, and you have a good heart, and you always spend your time trying to help others. So I know that you also do a good job, so I know that you will be very helpful in that cause.
Yes. I thank you, Pat. Coming from you, that means a lot. And you know what? I miss my partner.
Well, I understand that, but she's up in heaven looking down, giving you a little bit of help.
Right.
Okay, buddy.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, we got to take a break. Ron, the other Ron, the Ron Savage.
The real one, man.
Yes, Nunzio Galatuzzi's cousin. He's going to
Get some high pressure building in, and
That was cool.
the early part of the work week, and it's going to be a very quiet finish to the weekend. Now we will see skies clearing after the clearing gray Saturday. We'll let it back into the low to mid 30s for our Sunday. We're mostly sunny, afternoon high, mid to upper 40s. We're partly cloudy Sunday night. Overnight low drops back to 32, and then it's probably partly sunny for Monday. An afternoon high, mid to upper 40s. I'm Jeff Eno from Weather Channel for Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Listen Sundays at 9 a.m. for Radio Mass of Baltimore, the live liturgy of the Sunday Mass from St. Ignatius Church in downtown Baltimore. And again at 6 p.m. for a rebroadcast. Following the Mass, stay tuned for a message from the Archdiocese of Baltimore on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Are you always apologizing for your dog's behavior? Need
Not at all.
help communicating?
Not at all. Not at all.
Solve your problem. The answer to your problems is a phone
Hello,
call
man.
away. Call 410-477-2000 for a free demo evaluation. Call 410-477-2000. Obedience, protection, handicapped assistance, boarding, grooming, puppy preschool. Visit canineconcepts.com. The best for your dog. Call 410-477-2000.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, Protect My Car is announcing a low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay nothing for auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-285-9584 now. Drivers who are covered by Protect My Car will not have to pay for a covered repair bill again. This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free car rental at no additional cost. Call Protect My Car for your free quick quote today. 800-285-9584. 800-285-9584. What do you have to lose? Again, 800-285-9584.
Dear Veterans, it was nice to spend the night with my daughter and other veterans. It's so humbling to attend an event when you feel appreciated.
I had a wonderful time with my family. Thank you for the memories, VetTix. Dear VetTix, thank you for a great experience and
for your support of the military and veterans.
Thank you so much, VetTix. Our family has gone through a lot the last few years, and this gave us a nice break.
Every empty seat at a concert, game, or special event is a missed opportunity to say thank you to a veteran or a service member. By giving your extra tickets to VetTix, you'll help America's heroes reduce stress, strengthen family bonds, and create a truly happy memory that will last a lifetime. So when you really want to say thank you for your service, give the experience, give the memory. VetTix. Give something to those who gave. For more information on how you can make a difference, go to vettix.org.
Hi, this is Dave Serio. Every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m., the show is called You Ought to Know. Expert information on the repair of vehicles, flea market, and your phone calls. The most powerful names in talk. You Ought to Know. Talk Radio 680, WCBM.
It's Baltimore's #1 marketplace, Radio Flea Market with Jay Harris, Sunday mornings from 7 until 8 a.m. Exclusively on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
When your vehicle needs help, Jeff's
Okay,
Automotive
that's it. So
Services
come
is
here.
the place to go. Your vehicle will be worked on by Automotive Service ASE certified technicians. Jeff services all vehicles, including cars, SUVs, trucks.
Say hello. I told you Betsy would come back again.
There are
Betsy
always
Bootsy.
available at Jeff's
Betsy Bootsy. Betsy Bootsy. Betsy Boo.
Jeff's Automotive Services is locally owned and conveniently located in the
That was brought to you by the Betsy Bootsy Association, betsybootsy.com.
Jeff's is the winner of the Best Automotive Service Award for 2019 by the Avenue Newspaper's Readers Poll. Jeff's offers 10% discounts to all seniors and active military members and would like to thank our military members for their service. Jeff's Automotive Services has a name you can trust. Remember, call 410-692-5700 for Jeff's Automotive Services.
Are you facing tax problems? No matter how long it's been since you last filed, if you have faced unemployment, loss of a family member, divorce, or illness and feel you can't afford to fix your tax problems, contact Advantage Tax Service, the Tax Killer. With the Tax Killer Rescue Plan, you have options you'll find nowhere else. Since 1989, Rose Harbaugh, former IRS employee, has helped many Marylanders and others outside the state resolve their problems. Advantage Tax Service has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and works overtime to assist the taxpayer to avoid additional penalty and interest. They are here, all year, preparing each return as if it were their own. And Rose Harbaugh, owner of Advantage Tax Service, met and was interviewed by Tom Marr when he did her ads. So give Rose Harbaugh, former IRS employee, a call at 410-869-TAXX, 410-869-8299, or online at taxkiller.com. That's taxkiller.com.
And now more of the Pat McDonough Show on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and worldwide at WCBM.com.
Okay, we have about 10 minutes left, and if you want to call us, it's 410-922-6680 or 1-800-922-6680. Our guests have been Danielle Hornburger, who is running for for county executive in Cecil County. When is the primary, Danielle?
It is April 28th, and that's pretty much all that matters in our county. I gotta say, Pat, although we do apparently have a Democrat that just jumped in
last minute.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. What is the makeup in Cecil County as far as Democrats and Republicans?
Sure. We are definitely predominantly Republican. The last vote, we've about 55% Democrat Republican compared to Democrat. And the last vote we had, the breakdown was about 11,500 showed up to vote at the
For
primary.
that particular office?
Yeah, in the primary, that's right.
Okay.
So, it will be interesting. We have a lot of different people speculating different things. as far as, and I'm sure you have too, as far as if we're going to see a higher turnout or because of Trump.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah,
That's a good point because a lot of people, I think, that are Trump people, loyalists, want to demonstrate their love and support for the president and show up in the Republican primary where it matters. One thing we know for sure is that senior citizens are going to come out and vote. They always do.
Absolutely.
They're voters they're reliable. That's going to happen.
And actually, I think we had that senior citizen one earlier that was speaking.
Edwina.
Yes, Edwina, that was speaking to the Hogan announcement that he's looking to put in that legislation. That is actually something that can be done at the county level too.
For a county tax.
Sure. We don't just have to wait for a 2022 possibility at the state level, but certainly that's something we could look at the county level.
Well, here's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to charge you for this as a consultant.
I like it.
When I was
a fiscal conservative, I like that, Pat.
Well, here's what you do. When the rain tax came out, it was actually called, what was it called, Kevin? Stormwater. Well, I was coming on the radio talking about this stupid tax, the stormwater thing, whatever, and nobody would pay any attention to what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I go home and I'm talking to Valerie about it. I said, this is a real serious thing. It's really big. She said, you've got to give it a name. Give it one of your names. And I said, I don't know. What do I got? I said, rain tax. I'll call it rain. So I originated the rain.
Really?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Some paper called me a name for doing that. But I originated the rain tax on the show. Okay. And once that ball got rolling, now what you've got to do is you've got to get a name for this. What you can do at the local level, you got to call it like senior break or something like that.
Oh, I like that. You're good.
Yeah, you got to do something like and then you got to make sure that in your voting list, every person 50 plus gets a special letter from you that you're going to commit to doing this.
I like that.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that is brilliant.
They are
And
all coming
I'll
out.
give you credit.
Well, that's why I get the
special
big
name.
money. That's why I get the big money. I only give that genius to people I love. So
Thank you, Pat.
that's one for you. And the same way, I'm trying to help Johnny Ray Sailing, our state senator, to win the congressional race.
Absolutely.
Right?
He's doing a good job.
He's working hard, and he's a good man.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yes. He's a
And
good
I told him, he said, well, who's going to vote, Pat? Who's going to vote? I said, Trump people, and this is the Republican primary I'm talking
He's
about.
got my endorsement.
I told the people that are going to vote are the Trump people, whether they're Democrat or Republican, because they won't vote in the primary if they're Democrats. But
how about if we leave the show?
Seniors 50, 60 and over
have to run and feed the ranch.
Oh yeah,
they will come out.
I'm not even gonna. I'm not even
my
gonna
young consultants, and they said, "Oh no, we got to get."
All you see is like feathers.
We got to start sending out this.
Cosmo, gotta take meds.
Emails and all this.
Hit you up later, bro.
It's okay.
I'll be back from the dead.
You don't hit those.
Well, then as
seniors
long as you
with
come
that
back
old-fashioned
as
direct
Grateful Dead.
good message that they trust you.
Yeah.
Because they got to trust you.
Oh yeah.
They will vote for you. So let's talk a little
We're
bit
gonna take
about,
it out
we only have about 5 minutes
with
left. Kevin and both
me
of you about the future
and Bobby
for the
McGee.
Republican Party. I'll start with you,
Miss
Kevin.
Janet Shaw.
Do we have, will we have a good candidate for governor? A viable candidate for governor in 2 years?
This is the $11 million question because that's what it took last election to get a Republican in there. We took some mighty big licks on this last go around with our bench. We had 2 county executives get knocked out that had bigger aspirations, and it's a pretty wide open field. There's talk that the LT might get involved. We got some secretaries
Talk
out
about
there.
the lieutenant governor.
Yeah. Anything is game at this point. We've got to do more to start recruiting younger, female, minority, whatever it is. We have got to diversify our bench, and we've got to get young people. And that's why my wife and I are so active. Right, we're passionate about this.
Me and Valerie are the same way.
Yep, we're all over the
State
state.
YRs are great too.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
they
she's
are motivated.
She's not a feminist, but she's very conservative, as you know.
Right.
But she's very much on this women should be
Yes.
in leadership position. That's why
Yes.
she's putting together this leadership forum, which will be mostly Republicans.
I mean, they know better. They know better than we do.
But they tell me.
Yeah.
I told her
exactly.
That's good.
I was in an argument with her the other day, and she said, you know, you're right, Pat, but I'm righter.
It's true.
I'm righter.
Well, I mean, I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong.
She understood what it meant. I didn't, but
But no, I mean, I think that's the future of the party, you know, and that goes beyond the next election cycle. And a lot of this is going to deal with once Trump gets elected, is he going to help, you know, out at a state level race in the state?
Well, he does go into the states,
yeah.
and he's got some very well organized states. Maryland is kind of in the backwater because they realize it's a liberal left state.
State, yep.
Yeah, and they always criticize him and attack him. So it's not. He doesn't love Larry, I can tell you.
But we've got rock stars living here like Dave Bossy. You know, these folks are helping. We got to make strides in the legislature. We got to get more Congress back in here too for Republicans. We went from 4 to 4 to now we're down to just Andy.
Yeah, but here's the problem. We're talking about Miller. We were talking about Miller and Bush earlier. Miller and Bush were liberals, but they weren't radical nutcases. And when they went behind closed doors to do the redistricting along with O'Malley, it was very bad. But I would tell you, if they were still here, they would say, we can't hurt Andy Harris. The Republicans have to have at least one member of Congress.
Sure.
These radicals are going to go behind closed doors, and they're going to say, to hell with Andy Harris. We want it all. We don't care about Republicans. You know,
we can't lose Andy.
They're deplorables. They're not even human.
But
we care.
He needs more friends down there from Maryland, you know, that are of the same mindset.
And the Supreme Court didn't do us any good because when they made the decision, they punted and they said it's up to the local politicians. This was a thing that had national scope. This was perfect for the Supreme Court to set standards. The only standards they set is, of course, on race. But they didn't set any other standards about the gerrymandering. Now, that's great in Texas because the Republicans in Texas and Oklahoma are as corrupt as the Democrats are here.
Yeah.
And they're gonna do the same thing. But here we are in the belly of the beast.
We gotta break that supermajority in the House or the Senate.
Well, look what happened in Virginia. It's going the other way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I always said about the lefties, they're fast and furious, just like Mussolini. When they take control, they dump everything on you right away. They want to put you in that straitjacket right away. All the bills, all the laws are passed. Total overhaul.
Yep.
All right. Well, it's been a lot of fun talking to you guys. We'll have to have you back sometime.
Thanks for having us. You know, I realize now that your wattage is reaching all over Cecil County. You got a ton of followers up there.
30 seconds.
And if anybody listening out there has got any issues with the state or federal county stuff, give my office a call. Dan Smith, we'll set you up. We'll get it taken care of. Lickety split. So thanks for having us.
Very quick in 10
reach
seconds.
out to me too. Hey.
Give me the
Yeah,
Danielle Hornburger.
DanielleHornberger.com. That's HORNBERGER. And I'm on Facebook. You can give me a call. My phone number's on there as well.
And I'm for you 100%. I want to see you win. All right, are we ready, Ron? We don't have a
Stay
There you go. We're ready.
Stimulating top and breaking news on 6 a.m.
Oh, man. There it is.
Council says there's no evidence.
Now, see that? See that pause like that?
Campaign.
Now, huh?
It will call Ukraine's president.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that. Zelensky's own answer.
Tell him that
leading
he's on probation now.
Tell the whole story.
If they were really if he decides he wants to have a civil conversation in the future,
They would be fighting to make sure that this is the first round history without evidence.
Chef says claims made by the president.
He made it very sad.
Might answers for
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's right. Did
by the
any
House.
legislature?
Consider those requests next week.
Oh, you made
Capitol Hill.
it.
New video has surfaced of President Trump meeting with indicted Ukrainian businessman Lev Parnas. President
Oh, that's too much. That's just too much.
Ukrainian
Oh, you have a good weekend. Take it easy. And look out for their savage stream coming up maybe later.
It comes from the attorney on Lev Parnas, who is that